So therefore, in the moment, what you need for your evolution, for your process, for your development, for everything, you take it. So in a way, it's an encouragement even, I'm not asking you, it's not required for you to get locked into some relationship, something that you would feel burdened by. It can only come from a very different place. So whatever you need to know, whatever you need reassurance, whatever you need to have adjusted, reflected, reassured, I'm here for that. You see? I'm here for that. The more you take, the better I sleep. I mean it.
Since my kriyas became more and more powerful and refined, very attentive in doing nothing and being very spontaneous about, but my meditation really suffered because the mind chatter also re-entered this whole chaos sometimes happening. And tonight, I think I had the first time I came really in touch with what this is about, more or less. We have some more days to go. And it was intense, beautiful, demanding. And when I came back from meditation, I don't know if you recognized it, I cried a bit, but came very out of the depth. And I already knew this, and a thought came with it, and this happened before several times during my intense journey I'm going through. And it was the call for guidance and frustration and anger. Why do I have to do this alone? Why is no one there who can really teach me, really guide me? Because I came across teachers, but I had to learn that they are not capable of relating actually and realizing what's actually going on. And I know you can, I know you do. But in the way my life is unfolding and collapsing around me, I have no idea when and how and in which form there's the possibility in the future for you or someone else to guide me. And I really, really become, not tired, not frustrated. It's just moments, because every time I stay up again and say, hey, it's part of the unfolding, part of the game, and I really, really want this. I'm totally in. I'm giving it all. Yeah, but if there's a question, then it's can you be my guidance? Can you be my teacher in this?
Can I?
You already are.
Well, let's maybe first simplify things a little bit. Simplify it for the sake of clarity. And once there is clarity, we can touch whatever needs, requires, any kind of more refined perspective. So you said, and with you, with every bit of what you have shared, and you mentioned also, the teachers, right? And so let's just make just some useful, maybe bring some useful reminder. If we are to apply monistic perspective, if we are to look at this through the lenses of monism, if we are to look at it, right, through the eye that beholds all in oneness, right, then there are no teachers. All this is Shiva. There are no teachers. There are no teachers who are high or lower. All this is various manifestations of awareness. So in other words, there are no teachers who know or who don't know. This is a monistic perspective. We could say ultimate perspective. Ultimate. Ultimate perspective is that there are not even teachers who are confused or, it's all for the sake of that same play of consciousness. All. So that's with that reminder, it becomes clear then that true teaching is always proceeds from, or if we are to look at it from the opposite pole of that, could be traced to. And Shaivism in particular is very, very clear about that all teaching or teachings are traced to Shiva, no one else. So one way or another, teaching is always traced to Shiva. This is an important adjustment, an important reminder, important understanding. And because we don't expend energy on these sometimes time-consuming comparisons, right? And at the very same time, we also understand that different measures applied to respective levels of creation. And that's where the distinction comes. At an ultimate level, there's no distinctions. Everything is traced to nothing other than awareness. Yet we don't confuse levels of reality. And at the level of reality, where, let's say, individuality reigns, the individual experience that is taking precedence, then all diversity is at play. So that's when we need to bring forth all that discrimination, all that what you speak of, right? So holding it, you see, at once, having the view, and the Shiva's view, that, let's say, aerial perspective, and yet this earthly perspective, this perspective. From this perspective, of course, no journey is performed in isolation. There has to be these moments when we seek or look for guidance, understanding that that guidance can only come from within. It requires also this simultaneously clarity of perception, clarity of understanding, whilst also humbleness at the very same time. So one needs to be sharp, clear about this, that unless one sees this and recognizes it within oneself, no one can teach anything to anyone, because everything is through and as an act of self-recognition. So when we read scripture and we read a line, whatever that is, a verse, and we have this yes, oh my, yes. Why? On what account? Why this wisdom suddenly struck us as an arrow, hit the target? It's because we recognize ourselves there. So in the same way, this act of self-recognition always accompanied all relationships, certainly when it comes this dynamic. So that's the clarity of understanding. At the same time, at the very same time, there is this simultaneously, it should be accompanied by that humbleness, because this can be quickly, maybe even not being fully aware, comes with that slight disservice to oneself, because this is like a quicksilver, right? Recognizing that it's all act of self-recognition. Where does that leave me? Does that swell that what should let go? Does that fortifies that what should release? You see? Because that principle of I-amness, that principle, that supreme sense of I, that supreme pure subjectivity of which we will continue in our discourse tomorrow, how it is progressively being funneled. First, at the Shiva level, it's pure subjectivity, pure I-ness. And at the level of Ishvara, it becomes individuated Godhead. See, already there's some movement. It is still God. It's divinity, divine, but a certain Shakti is at work. And at the level of Purusha, it is contracted further into the sense of individual soul. And then finally, at the level of Ahamkara, all I-amness is usurped, hijacked, completely and utterly. And it's hijacked also by hijacking the whole system. Nothing can be blamed in this body, in this neurophysiology. But the sense of that what gives the individual sense, that individual flavor, creates that conglomerate. So what we're letting go here, and this is, I've observed it, how that membrane-like, right, can function. Observe that above all else in myself. And of course, then I was able to observe that, how that, let's say, is reflected in those on the path. So that's what I'm speaking about. See, on one hand, razor-sharp understanding, and on the other hand, that softness of humbleness that the dynamic here represents, because in order to receive, we need to be soft. There needs to be this softness. Rigidity cannot receive nothing. You can only play ping pong with rigid something, a squash against the wall. Boom. The wall needs to be firm to play squash. You know squash? It's a British game. But So you're playing without a partner, with the wall, or you can play with the two people can play against the wall. Yeah. So you know that very well. It's that. It's so this dynamic. Then, of course, now, can I be a teacher? What if I say no? And many people ask me, very lovely people who were older than me. In the earlier years, they were all older than me. Then at some point, people who were my age, and now as I get older in this body, younger people ask that. Younger people. See? And I've also observed the charade side of it as well, which made me kind of less enamored with the whole thing. And I'm being now kind of speaking in candidly, right? Don't have to be all, like kind of satsang level of. I'm just allowing myself to be a little bit more, let's say, here. Not cynical about this, although I could have turned a cynic by now. Because whenever people ask me to become their teacher, again, not yet again. No, can we do something else, right? Because it's like it. At the same time, I understand this is that it comes with a job. It's like, so don't complain, man. Yeah, like you climbed up here. Well, don't complain. You will be seen as a teacher. You'd be asked to teach. You're teaching, so just buckle up and do your job. I'm talking to myself now. So this, you see, is now we're coming now kind of with this being touched, coming to the subtler aspect, the more refined aspect. You see, this, can I teach you? And I've asked you, can I? And you responded, you are, right? And I could add, time will tell. And then you will say something, I don't know. Yeah. Well, yes, master, there's no time, like, or something of the kind, right? And kind of like, it will be a nice dialogue, short, to the point. We can then, offer it to the people who make the Netflix and HBO stuff, series. But there is something here that belongs to that, what, effectively speaking, right now, if there is a need, you take this. You see? If you feel it quenches the thirst, if it provides, take this. It's yours. Because that's the nature of things. Anything else, I can tell you, is not up to us. Something else is at play. So this is why we don't know. Can I teach you anything? Can I teach you anything? I don't know. But if you feel you can take something, it's your job to do that. Take it by hook or by crook. This I would definitely encourage you. Because guess what? You don't come here to twiddle your thumb. You came here to do your job. Okay? So you have all the rights to do that, man. So we cut through the chase, you see? You want to form some other refined relationship, only time can tell. Only time can tell what archetypes each of us are playing here, what we are pushed to, karmically and dharmically, to perform. See? We may do the oath to each other, only to then become the characters in the story. And story may not be they lived happily ever after. See? So therefore, in the moment, what you need for your evolution, for your process, for your development, for everything. You take it. So in a way, it's an encouragement even, I'm not asking you, it's not required for you to get locked into some relationship, something that you would feel burdened by. It can only come from a very different place. So whatever you need to know, whatever you need reassurance, whatever you need to have adjusted, reflected, reassured, I'm here for that. You see? I'm here for that. The more you take, the better I sleep. I mean it.